The United States has introduced a new policy targeting undocumented immigrants, which is expected to have a significant impact on Indian community living over there without any legal status. Under this rule, the US government is giving undocumented individuals two options: either leave voluntarily using newly introduced mobile app or face fine up to $700 per day for remaining in the country illegally. This policy is part of US President Donald Trump's aggressive immigration enforcement strategy aimed at reducing the number of undocumented immigrants through stricter measures. Given that a larger number of Indians migrate to the United States every single year and many of them face visa issues, overstaying problems, or even failed asylum claims, this new initiative could directly affect them. Reports suggest that nearly 5 lakh Indians in the US are undocumented, making them highly vulnerable under these new rules. The CBP Home app, which was recently updated by the US Department of Homeland Security, now includes a self-deportation feature. The app allows undocumented individuals to register and leave the US voluntarily rather than waiting to be caught and forcefully removed. The main advantage of using this particular option is that individuals who leave willingly may have a chance to return legally in near future, whereas those who are forcefully deported could face a lifetime ban from re-entering the US. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem explained that this initiative was designed to encourage people to leave without the need for ICE's involvement, which is kind of costly and time-consuming. Noem also warned that those who ignored this option and remained in the US illegally will face fines and be permanently barred from re-entering if they are caught. According to US officials, hundreds of individuals have already used the app to self-deport. One of the most talked about cases was of Srinivasan, an Indian student pursuing a PhD course in urban planning at Columbia University. Her visa was revoked after US authorities accused her of supporting violent activities linked to Hamas. Instead of facing forced deportation with a permanent ban, she chose to leave the US using the self-deportation feature on the CBP Home app. Her case has raised concern among Indian students and professionals in the US as it highlights how visa cancellation and deportation are increasing under Trump's administration hardline approach to immigration. This initiative is a part of a $200 million campaign titled "Stay Out and Leave Now." It's launched by Trump's administration. The campaign's goal is to encourage undocumented immigrants to leave on their own before they are forcefully removed. Noem, in an official statement, emphasized that President Trump's message is clear. Those who are in the US illegally will be found and deported with no chance to return. However, if they leave voluntarily now, they might have a future opportunity to come back legally. The campaign also claims that illegal border crossing has dropped by 95% under Trump's administration. And since January, US Immigration and Custom Enforcement has arrested over 32,000 undocumented immigrants across the country. Now, for Indians in the US, this policy raises serious concern. Many undocumented Indians, including those who entered the country legally but overstayed their visas, now face the difficult choice. The choice of self-deporting or risking large fines and permanent bans. The US has already been sending deportation flights to India, with reports stating that at least 3 flights carrying undocumented Indians have been arranged in last 7 weeks. Additionally, the policy poses a major threat to Indian IT professionals who are working in the US. Over the past years, mass layoffs in the US tech sector has left thousands of Indian workers jobless, many of whom were on H-1B visas. Once their grace period expires, they either have to find another job very quickly or leave the country. With this new policy, anybody, I repeat, anybody who overstays their visa could be targeted for fines or immediate deportation. Adding to this, then another affected group is Indian asylum seekers in the US. Every single year, many Indians apply for asylum, citing reasons such as political persecution, religious discrimination, or even threats to their safety back home. However, under Trump's stricter immigration policy, asylum applications are facing rejection rate which are kind of really high, and many asylum seekers could now be forced to leave sooner than expected. The US government argues that these new measures will save taxpayers' money by reducing the cost of detaining and deporting individuals through ICE. Instead, officials claim that resources can now be focused on removing criminals and dangerous individuals rather than spending money on deportation of those who leave voluntarily.